Okay, in this tutorial it's going to be a quick recap and a continuation of the last help file where I showed you how to paste pictures into your template. So first things first, let's just check my layers palette over here on the right hand side. What have I got going on? Okay, so that was picture 1 where we just pasted it straight in. So I'm going to click on that and delete it down here. So a little dustbin at the bottom, let's get rid of that, click on yes. And we've got what's called layer 1, which is that picture behind our number 1. So let's double click that and call that picture 1. Alright, so you'll notice we've got our picture layer, and there's what we call a mask. Because we did a selection and pasted into it, we've created a mask. Okay, that's why that layer looks different. So I want to put another picture in behind the number 2. Okay, so let's come down to net of cube on right, select that layer, get my magic wand tool, that was the 4th one down from the top, click inside that square to select it. Let's go and find a picture. Now some of you will already have put some pictures together in PowerPoint, Word or Publisher as part of your research. If I go to a PowerPoint document, some pictures I had, so if I click on that, same again, right click, copy, let's minimize that, back to Photoshop. Like I said, you can't do right click paste, so it's up to edit, paste special, and across to paste into. There you go. Okay, it nearly fills that space anyway. There's a white stripe across the top and the same across the bottom. So let's get our move tool from the top of our toolbar. Then across in the options bar, click on show transform controls to get those grab handles. If you remember, don't really like stretching pictures. What we're going to do is go to one of the corner handles, press and hold shift on the keyboard. Now click and drag my picture, still holding shift, down to the opposite grab handle, drag that down, release my mouse button first, then release the shift button. So that's still kept the same proportions. I haven't squashed it, I haven't stretched it, I haven't made it look odd. What I need to do now is click the tick at the options bar across the top. Great. Okay, let's get rid of my grab handles by clicking on show transform controls again. Those have gone. My number 2 is disappearing into this picture. It's also overlapping this character's face. So let's move that number 2. Well, I've got my move tool ready. Let's go to the number 2 layer, click on that. So I can move that about. Let's put it there. Let's change the color, we need to lighten that up. Let's just double click here in the layers palette on the T icon next to number 2. It's highlighted. Swatches. Click on a light blue and click the tick. That's much better. Okay. So again, look down here in our layers palette. I've now got another layer called layer 1 again. Photoshop automatically puts new layers as layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, etc. Okay, so let's double click where it says layer 1, change that to picture 2. Okay. Doesn't matter where these layers are, as long as they're behind and at the bottom of these numbers. So let me drag my layers palette out again, stretch it down. Okay. So as long as the number layers are on the top and our picture layers are at the bottom, there's not going to be any problems. But let me just click and drag picture 2 layer on top of, or rather between number 3 and number 2, release it there. You'll notice my number 2 has disappeared because my picture 2 layer is on top of my text number 2 layer. So you can't see through that picture to see the number 2. Let me show you what I mean. If I click the eye icon here, make the picture disappear. Okay, the text is there, it's just underneath. So I need to make sure if I click and drag picture 2, I can put it between number 2 and number 1, that's not a problem. because it's underneath the number 2 layer, okay, that text layer. So make sure your numbers are on top of your picture layers. So I want you to go through now. Oops, still got my move tool selected. I want you to go through and paste into each square different pictures. Don't forget to save as you go.